Steph, I know you brought up the first game Area 77 took it to BTK. That might be true, but it was the first game in the playoffs. Night Horde coming out top, and I'm ready for them to prove it in the draft. Let's see what happens.
That's right, and away we go into the draft for our third series of the day. Officially done with round one of the lower brackets. Moving our way up, teams getting knocked out left and right. I mean, it's make it or break it now, right? Everything on the line. Officially in the lower bracket quarterfinals, Night Horde and Area 77. Me and you both voting for Area 77, but agreed with you right there. It's a fork in the road. You don't know which way it's going to go, and this just shows both these teams have a lot of cards to show today.
I'm not gonna lie, my heart kind of wants Night Horde to maybe pull off a win here, man. Like, just because we've seen so much from Night Horde this season. You know, I said it in the last game when they faced up against Bloodhounds. It was Night Horde and Bloodhounds are the two teams that a lot of us like are these, you know, newer rookie teams gonna finally, you know, these newer names to NACT gonna finally be able to, you know, go past their limits, and this is the opportunity to do that. Night Horde, with everything on the line here, has to take down Area 77. I think if they can do that, they really cement themselves, you know, as a staple name in NACT.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to be today. Who can rise up to that occasion, up in that bracket? I believe whoever wins here will be in that fourth place position currently for the NACT. So this will be a good one to kind of watch between both of these amazing competitors. Now, looking at the side of Area 77, they're going to go in for some CC, right? They have the R-Lot stacked up with that Minotaur. Both of them synchronized very well when it comes to these engagements. You have the Minotaur with the Minoan Fury, and then you have the Demon Gauge over there from the R-Lot. You mentioned, it's funny enough you said it, right? Allowing your Reshi to run this R-Lot could be a possible problem.
It's dangerous.
And he got it. Checkmate for the side of Area 77, but a response back from the Night Horde.
Listen, Yureshi's R-Lot has been a pick to be feared for a long time. We're talking all the way back to like spring season of last year. The Yureshi R-Lot was something that was a problem when he was playing on Outplay. So it's something you got to watch out for. Night Horde, though, does bring in the Valentina for Sayori, able to kind of, you know, get the IMU with the Final Slash or with the Minoan's Fury. Either one could be huge. Not only that, they bring in some, you know, the Kaja, which I think maybe it's a little early to bring out the Kaja. Kind of questionable. It does slow down Area 77 from maybe picking up something hyper aggressive in the jungle. Kind of changes things up, and especially since Area 77 doesn't have a jungler yet. The Fredrin's gone, the Bosch is gone, the Barat's off the field. We are starting to pigeonhole Tarzan, maybe, you know, being forced into picking something, you know, like the Nolan, something hyper aggressive that wouldn't play well against Kaja.
Yeah, this is definitely a treat to see. I think it's going to be one of the spiciest series that we've had today. I'm okay with the Kaja. The reason being is because they already have the Valentina, which is a checkmate. If they do want to go in for the Group CC for the Minotaur, they can definitely profit there. Or they can even wait and see what else is picked up. The Final Slash could definitely work out. But we'll have to see how this kind of plays out. The Kaja is great for the carry, though. If you can catch them out of position, get that Divine Judgment, they will be able to take carry down, and that will be delaying the late game presence that the carry will have, especially soaking into that Barats. But there goes the staple pickup. Haven't got to see it too often today, but the Vexana now in play for Area 77.
Tarzan is running out of picks, man. They just heavy band into him. Fredrin's gone, Bosch is gone, Guinevere's gone. All he's got left is like Martis, or he's got to go the Noland, right? He's got to go the Noland or Joy, which I think that's Night Horde's plan. It's like, let's force him into one of these two assassin junglers and then try to bully. They already have the Basha, they already have the Kaja, they have a comp that's like what you would normally pick in response to that. So I think there's some possibilities for them here.
The Kai. Still available.
Yeah, Kai's still open.
Whoa! Hold on now. Zero.
The flex, baby.
I think Zero's running in the jungle.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. And it's the flex, man. It's the last moment spice, the last moment pick, and that's why they picked up the Kaja. Lack of answers. I think you have to go the Akai here, right? Like, you have to pick up the Akai. It's the only thing that, unless they go damage jungler as well, but I don't think that. I think Akai is the answer here. It stops Zero from being able to bully your jungle. It's definitely, I think it's the answer.
Martis could work out. Martis could be an option, but there goes the Akai. Oh, this is getting good. I like the draft so far. I think it was very creative from the Night Horde. Honestly, I didn't even expect it, but they have Zero. We talked about them in the draft being able to flex him into that jungle position where needed and just kind of makes him third dimensional. And I think it's a great opportunity for them to pull out this Fanny. With the Fanny, though, his main objective is going to be possibly going in and getting those early kills, trying to shut down the side laners. Not even really too worried about the turtles. But Tarzan, I mean, he's pretty much guaranteed on these neutral objectives for the most part, but he is going to have to watch out for those quick rotations from the Fanny. I mean, Zero on the cables, it's like Spider-Man. You can't catch him. You're going to have to watch out with the mobility that he provides, not only for the neutral objectives, but also for the split push to take down your side lanes and possibly go in for these objectives.
And I mean, this is, and it's surprise factor too, man. Bringing Zero in like this, throwing that flex. I guarantee you, A77 thinks Barats has got to be jungle, right? Like they lock in the Barats, Kaja, Valentina. I don't think anybody was guessing, oh, there's going to be a last minute flex here, and that's what they do, and it completely just. Whether it's completely good or not, it still throws in this wrench of surprise at Area 77. Like, whoa, we have to completely change the way we're looking at this now. Is that going to be the game-changing thing? Because if Night Horde gets game 1 here off of that right there, it completely throws it just stops completely changes momentum for Area 77 here.
Yeah, speaking of Area 77, going head-to-head up against Night Horde for our third series of the day. Moving on up in the brackets for the quarterfinals. Who will be able to claim victorious? Will it be the Dragons or will it be the extraterrestrial aliens? Which one of them are out of this world?
And look at those predictions, baby. 43-57. Area 77 barely holding a lead. This is one of the closest predictions we've had in a while now. Night Horde sitting strong with it, and honestly, the Barats should be able to do okay. Shouldn't get too bullied by Ureshi here. It's going to be able to just kind of hold its own. So, also, another solid point of the flex there.
Yeah, and this is going to be a fun one to watch. There goes Zero! Already finding ISO! Drex, we're not even 2 minutes in!
That's it. And this is the worry, right? The target is not Tarzan, right? The target is not Ureshi. The target is ISO. The target is Marcutie. The target is the Squishy. And if there's anyone that I have faith can pull it off, it's Zero. We were worried about Zero in the EXP. Well, forget the EXP. He's switching up. He's in the jungle, baby.
But wait a second. Speaking of junglers, Tarzan trying to find a place. Sayori finds Ureshi, though. That's going to be another member falling from the side of Area 77. Tarzan! Heavy spin from Sayori. Gonna use the IMU for the stun. Sayori getting a kill. 3-kill lead for the Night Horde in the first 2 minutes unanswered.
Uh-oh, Easy. Night Horde coming in. The lower bracket momentum is strong with this team right now. And Area 77, I think, just kind of, they got to pull it together. They got to slow it down. Everything the table just got turned over. We're all sitting on our heads right now. We got to think this through.
It does benefit them that they picked up the Akai, though, because it's going to be very hard for the Minotaur to stop this Fanny. So they need a more CC and frontline presence at their disposal for the late game. But speaking of the matchup, though, both teams fighting it out, trying to get this first turtle. Area 77, even though they're down in kills, they have the pressure, and it looks like they are still maintaining that control for this turtle.
I mean, forget the turtle. Night Horde they need to keep playing into the off lanes, I feel like. It's okay to give up a turtle. You don't have to, especially first turtle. I think they need to stick to exactly what they were doing. Aim for gold lane, aim for EXP lane, aim for little pickoffs here and there to keep yourself in game. Try to snowball.
Sayori, though,
where are you gone?
Will fall. Last second, 3-1. For the Night Horde, going into ISO, though, Zero looking for a second kill of the game. JQT doing his best over there with this Minotaur. Is trying to catch a fly with your fingers right there. That's how hard it is when you're running this Minotaur, trying to defend against a Fanny on a carry.
Get the chopsticks, going for the fly in the air like you're freaking Karate Kid here. Still, it's going to be tough. They do have answers, though. I think as we creep into mid-game, like you said, the Akai, once Area 77 is able to start grouping up, it's going to be tough for Zero to look for these pickoffs. It's why Night Horde, I think, really needs to push the envelope and try to get as many kills early game as possible. Try to put R as ahead as possible in this early phase. And Area 77 just needs to force them, to slow it down, and that's exactly what they're doing in here.
Yeah, Minoan Fury for the knockup. Getting JQT, getting Tarzan, forcing out the heavy spin. Ureshi going in for the play as well, but it looks like Omofil on the top side, able to kind of maintain himself. Right now, though, Area 77 need to be careful on the aggressive play over there by Zero on this Fanny. I am right there with you, but look at Zero, almost able to catch ISO. Very close call, just showcasing his potential. ISO, he's gonna have to play full defense in that gold lane. Speaking of defense, Momoe 2v1 on the chase. Needs to get out of there. Do they go in for the kill? No, they decide to disengage.
One of the problems is recently there was a buff on, because some of the gold laners got some nerfs here and there was a buff on the towers, right? That you get more defensive bonus. So it becomes even harder for, you know, some of these aggressive junglers, some of these assassin junglers to get pickoffs in the laning phase. Because as long as ISO like hugs under the tower, it's going to be tough for him. You know, normally, Zero picks up a kill onto Yureshi there, but still it's going to be tough for him to get kills onto ISO in this laning phase.
Yureshi, a little bit of an overextension, kind of scratching my head right there. Not where you want to be, caught by 4 members of the Night Horde, and now shifting focus over to this turtle. Area 77 was able to claim the first one with little to no problem. Now Tarzan will be able to claim the second one as well. 2 turtles for the side of Area 77, and no trade back from the Night Horde.
I mean, so gold sitting at a standstill, right? Area 77 has been able to hang on. Maybe not in kills, but in neutral objectives. Big pick on a Momoe here, though.
Big stun. Eternal Guard going down. The Terrify. Tarzan finding Momoe. 1 member falling for the side of the Night Horde. Demon Hunter Sword picked up by R. Getting those core items. Zero! Very low. This is where the Akai comes into play. The frontline bully. But speaking of frontline bully, Dennis Welcome. Oh my foe! Going in for the kill. Finds JQT. Final slash goes out. Yureshi joining the party. Yureshi taking down Sayori. Zero. He wants blood. Still cables in. The cutthroat. Not enough, but he is able to find it. Another member falling. 6-3 lead for the Night Horde.
All right, we got us a game, boys, ladies and gentlemen. We're 6 minutes in. 6-3, Night Horde leading in kills, but Area 77 holding an ever so slight lead in gold. But the pressure is there, and I got a feeling we're going the long haul here, Wheezy. So let's break it down a bit more. We haven't really seen Momoe get to be detrimental yet on this Kaja. I think, you know, we talked about how Tarzan's going to start being more important as we creep into the mid to late game. Well, I think it's the same thing for Momoe on this Kaja. I think as we creep farther and farther into the game, those divine judgments are going to become a little bit more glaring, a little bit more of a problem for Area 77.
Speaking of problems, both marksmen's kind of at a stalemate in terms of the economy and not too far ahead of each other. I mean, he hasn't picked up too many kills. He has the assist, though. It is going to be a little bit of a struggle for him. I mean, technically, you see the strong front lines and you think he can soak them down, especially running on this Claude, but there's a lot of CC he has to jump into. He has to watch out for not only Minoan and Fury, but also a big heavy spin coming out from Tarzan on top of that, which may be a possible issue. But speaking of Tarzan, an invasion play onto the purple buff, but the numbers are there for the side of Night Horde to defend, and it looks like they're going to shift their focus over to this Lord.
Yeah, one good thing about the Claude, though, is if you're going to have a marksman dealing with this much CC, Claude is one of your picks. He capitalizes so well off the Purify. He has the BMI. He has a lot of answers. So if you can be mechanically gifted and make it work, it can definitely be the win here. Momoe, though, with conceal play. Sayori?
Yeah, he's going to use that heavy spin. A little bit of a pushback. Marcuti very low, though. Zero. Gets him. Able to skate away. Tarzan finds Sayori. No ISO. But the speed of light rolls takes down Zero. R finds Tarzan. Cutie. 2 members falling for both sides. The stun, though. Final slash. Yureshi finds one. ISO. Taking down Oh My Foe. Momoe R very low. Yureshi alongside him. Able to get out of there. ISO with the triple kill. Takes down R. Momoe all by himself. And the tier 1 turret for the mid lane will be bursted down by Area 77.
ISO online, baby. Yeah, you took me out once, but I'm online. ISO getting the triple kill, 3-1-0. Just shows up, catches Zero at a mid-cable. Like, nope, there's no escape here. Pops the Speedy Light and just starts melting people down. We're going to take a look at the replay real quick, and I want to see the way ISO did this. Look at him. He comes in a little bit late to this party, still in the bot lane here. This is more of when Sayori gets caught off, and this is kind of the beginning of it. Momoe does get to pull in on Tarzan, but literally brings Tarzan in. But there's ISO popping off, able to get the kill on a Zero, and his position is so clean from there on. Night Horde unable to really defend it. Nice pull, though. JQT going to go down, so Night Horde continues to answer back.
Yeah, able to find some answers despite Area 77 overall winning that first engagement. They took the turtle. They took the tier 1 turret in the mid lane as well. Tarzan, though, on the Sakai, trying to go in for the invasion on the purple buff, falling a little bit short, but able to get out of there. Momoe, though, Ring of Order is going to go in for the slow. Mark Cutie in the mid lane, found by Zero, bursting down with Cutthroat. ISO finds Zero to response back, though. Or we'll be able to take down ISO. A lot of trades on the board. 1 for 2, though. Night Horde able to kind of push through with the numbers, still leading 11-9.
That's big, though. So Night Horde finally gets a kill onto ISO. R gets the shutdown, giving himself a little bit more gold. And just like ISO wasn't out of it, R is also still not out of this. The man has only taken 1 death. You mentioned earlier when we saw the items, their gold is pretty close right now. R, I think, just takes a little bit more time. Maybe 1 more item than ISO is going to need. Maybe a few more minutes than what ISO is going to need to really come online. But once R comes online, he's going to be shredding down multiple members. Tarzan, though, takes the Lord.
Able to claim it for Area 77. The Night Horde trying to respond back. Marquis finds Zero. Wait a second. BMI goes out. Possible another kill on the way. Area 77 forcing the Night Horde out of the Lord Pit. Down in kills, but up in the objectives. Oh, wait a second. R on Tarzan Cutie. J Cutie forced for the knockup, trying to stop them. Eternal Guard going down. Suppression Divine Judgment for the grab onto Marquis, but nobody to follow through. And overall, Area 77 able to win that objective.
I think as long as Night Horde cannot lose an inhibitor here, they're doing okay. They still have been unable to take a single tower away from Area 77. So though they had some flashy plays in the beginning, though they got some early game kills, though they've been leading, Area 77 has always been controlling the game.
You know, it's funny. Look at R's damage. He has almost double what ISO has right now, but ISO has almost double the amount of kills. Definitely making them count with the damage. But so far, like you said, Area 77, they're in the lead, but Night Horde's still holding on to their inhibitors. The later this game goes, though, the more of a threat it's going to be from the side laners, the marksmans, right? That's when they're going to start to shine. ISO able to take the tier 2 on the top side. Heavy spin in the lane as well. Big knockup from the Eternal Guard, connecting onto Oh My Foe, forcing R back to safety. And now the Night Horde stripped down to their inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, man, Night Horde is unable to get some of those kills. And those are the 1 kills. If R could have just taken out Tarzan, if Tarzan would have just gone down there, those are the things that start to tip the game back into your favor. But Night Horde just unable to completely follow through here. You know, what's the strategy from here, right? I think Zero maybe needs to start split pushing a little bit. Needs to maybe stop going exactly for the kills. Start putting some pressure in the off lanes. And the rest of the team just needs to kind of keep up the defense. R sitting now, we talked about the gold not escaping him, but now it is starting to. ISO holds a 1,500 gold lead over him. He hasn't gotten his he hasn't gotten his 4th item locked in yet. He's got the DHS, he's got the corrosion scythe, he's got the gold. I think he just needs a little bit more, and I think next it's going to be the Wind of Nature, and that could be the game changer for him. It could be the thing that helps him survive a bit more or push. Oh, Final Slash coming in.
From Ureshi is going to try and find the pick off. Yeah, they're trying to contest onto this purple buff, trying to stop any farm from going into the Night Horde's hands. Double heavy spin, though, in the mid lane. Beyblade at its finest between Tarzan and Sayori, but Ureshi changing the narrative to Final Slash. Aikido finds Sayori. Another member falling. ISO finds Zero. 2 members falling from the side of Night Horde, and the siege onto the mid lane for the inhibitor. Momoe very low. Ureshi out for blood. There goes the inhibitor, 50% HP, and the focus. Oh My Foe trying to defend, trying to hold him off. Minion in play. Go ahead and soak some damage on to the base crystal. They still have minions in the mid lane for the push, and they have the numbers. It's a 3v5. Area 77, though, quickly running out of their opportunity, forced to disengage out of the base, but now another possible siege for an inhibitor.
Yeah, definitely not over for Night Horde just yet, but a huge take for Area 77. They break down the mid inhibitor. They take their gold lead even farther. Night Horde now, I think they got to contest, and now they're in a position now where they have to contest this Lord, right? They can't just kind of hang it out. If they still had all 3 inhibitors, maybe they could, you know, play it safe, go for an even farther late game, but I think now we're at a point where it's like, maybe we have to go for this. Maybe we have to force something here. They do have Momoe on this Kaja. There still is some possibilities to maybe get a nice pick off before Lord comes in and put themselves in an advantage.
I think this is also where Zero's going to have to start split pushing. I mean, if they're not going to be able to win these objectives, he needs to find some type of trade. I mean, it's with how late we are in the game, 13 minutes. and only able to take down a couple of turrets. It's not really where they want to be so far. I mean, normally the Fanny's meant to kind of bridge the gap in the early phase and create that opportunity. Zero was able to get the kills, but it just didn't translate into any objectives, right? They were not able to claim the Lords, not able to claim the Turtles, and most of the turrets went to the side of Area 77, even with how close these kills were. And so, like, I'm right there with you. Zero, instead of being so kill-oriented, start rotating to being a little bit more objective-focused. This is where the Fanny has to start to pivot toward the mid to late game, focusing on the mobility provided, but a big final slash, Minoan Fury for the knockup, connecting to the Night Horde. Heavy spin goes out by Tarzan, though. ISO finding on my foe, Ureshi. Dash in, hit with the Divine Judgment for the stun. Are gonna fall, so you're gonna take down Ureshi Cutie. That's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade. Make that more though. So Yori trying to get out of there. Momoe, blindsider, 2-man army, but oh, they're gonna split. Able to catch Sayori though. Will fall. ISO getting the kill. Momoe needs to get out of there. I mean, he's still gonna go in for the contest. They're not even really worried about him, but look at the split push. Look at Zero.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take this tower. That's going to be kind of big. Might be game-changing. I don't know. My foe will be back up on the map. R will be back up on the map. But Area 77 should be able to rush this Lord. So it's more back up on the map to defend. Night Horde can't lose any more members. I will say that this Lord is... With R on the Claude, it definitely feels defendable. It feels possible to be able to get away from this. You also have Zero who can kind of disrupt some of these off lanes and make it so the waves aren't going to crash evenly.
Yeah, ISO going to pick up another core item, picks up that Windtalker. Now 8-2-1 on the carry right now. Highest kills in the game overall. You are going to see this Luminous Lord now making his way through the mid lane, and it looks like Area 77 will work on trying to push through the base for the Night Horde.
Yeah, Momoe needs a big pick-off, man. And something huge. I think at this point, you might not even, like, it might not be like, oh, we just have to get ISO. Like, get anybody. Anybody works as long as you can get the kill, but hold up.
Ooh, final slash onto Sayori. Needs to get out of there. ISO able to take the inhibitor on the top side. One more to go through on the bottom lane. Lord quickly bursts it down. You kind of called it with R on this Claude. Making quick work of it, and now Area 77 deciding to kind of shift their focus back out of the base, being cool, calm, and collective. Definitely not wanting to overextend and fall into that trap of being too aggressive and being punished. But down goes the inhibitor on the bot side. Minions are in play. They can go in. They have the numbers. They have the damage. Both teams fighting it out. BMI from R to be able to clear out these minions. Area 77 still in the base for the Night Horde. Do they take the fight or do they push out? I'm not really sure if they can handle it. I think they need to pull their punch.
Yeah, I think R plays that very well there. He does not use the Blazing Duet for the members of Area 77. He uses it for the minions, clears out the waves. Ooh, maybe a whiff. Sayori goes down.
Ooh, quick kill by ISO, able to take him down. ISO finding Momoe for the double triple. Find Zero. Immortality being procced on Tarzan. A maniac. ISO, the immortal, the unstoppable. He wants to savage. Does he get it? They're not even worried about the base. Oh my goodness.
Whoa!
Wipeout. But look at
Focus
the
on the
damage.
base.
The triple kill from on my phone. The base crystal. What is going on right now? Area 77 taking game number 1 against the Night Horde.
For just a moment, I thought we were about to see the biggest whiff in NACT history. But no, he's not able to clear the waves. Area 77 said, whoa, we all just went down. All right, target the tower already. Let's stop messing around. Area 77 comes out on top. A beautiful game by them. And like I said, man, it felt like Night Horde had some opportunity there, but Area 77, they play the game cleanly. Yes, you can get some kills early on, but we're taking objectives, we're taking towers, we're taking turtles and lords, and in the end, we're taking the game.
That triple kill last second from my phone was looking a little scary, though. Like you said, could have been the biggest whiff in NACT history, but nonetheless, Area 77 able to claim game number 1 against the Night Horde. Definitely was a hard fight, though. I wouldn't say it was the easiest, but overall, they were cool, calm, collective, objective focused, and they were able to push through. The Night Horde, they had the early advantage. They had Zero on his comfort pick on the Fanny. He was able to get the early kills, but they were not able to translate them into the objectives.
Very well said. I mean, I still can't get over that big 3-man kill there for a second. I was like, whoa! Taking a look at it, though, you're right. Night Horde, I think we buy a bit more time. Maybe Nighthorde's able to pull something off, but here are some of the, once again, what was it, man? Yureshi with those final slashes, man, continuously catching Sayori off. I mean, JQD as well. The combo between these two players were able to just make it so ISO could free roam, man. ISO could do whatever he wants. He felt comfy. He's able to dance in and out of team fights, knowing that there's enough CC, enough peel with Tarzan, JQD, and Yureshi that are providing for him, that in the end, ISO is just able to go 12-3-1 like it's nothing.
Yeah, overall, a very entertaining game. I mean, those engagements, whew, definitely showcasing their mastery on these heroes and overall synergy from both sides. But Area 77, I mean, I feel like they just showed up and played better, right? Able to take these objectives, able to, even though they weren't getting the early kills, that's where the Akai starts to kind of shine, right? He's not going in for those kills. He's just going to be that bully, invading the jungle, taking your purple, taking your orange buff, taking the lords, is where it kind of started to stack up against the Nighthorde. Even though they had Zero on that comfort pick, just wasn't enough to be able to shut them down for the first game. You are looking at a couple of the stats on the board. The rich guy, ISO, most gold per minute are 118k on the carry. You're going to see the sandbag being Tarzan Cutie, and then also the forgotten one stacking up the assists, racking to 15 will be J Cutie.
Yeah, and you mentioned it like about halfway through the game that R had about double the damage of ISO, but only half the kills. And it just goes to show that ISO, when he did lock, maybe he wasn't firing off at everybody, but when he locked on, he was making it count. And I mean, just with every bit of damage that ISO was doing, it always led up to something, it always led up to a kill in his pocket. Now, taking a look at the head-to-head, kind of an off head-to-head here, because Zero, though he is the EXP laner, has been playing as the jungler with that final swap in.
Yeah, the man's wearing multiple hats. Nonetheless, though, it was an entertaining match to be able to see his fanny, but it wasn't enough to take down Area 77. Yureshi, you mentioned the final slashes that he had, creating those opportunities, those setups on the initiation for the side of Area 77 to follow through with, and they did. You saw it every single time. He's able to dash in, initiate, and also get out to safety before falling, and it was a huge play. A lot of crowd control from the side of Area 77, which created a problem for the Nighthorde to find that window of opportunity. Damage dealt, though, across the board. There it goes, R, 118k. We mentioned it, right? He's just way more damage, but ISO making those kills count, able to kind of outdo him with the better KDA with the lower damage ratio.
Yeah, and what's really insane about the R-Lot is, like, it was number 2 or number 3 on the team in damage. So it's not that, like, it's not, the R-Lot isn't only providing insane CC, insane engage. It's also providing a decent chunk of damage. It is melting people down, and that's why the R-Lot is, I mean, it is something that you really need to think about putting on the ban table. It is not something to be messed with, and I think some EXP laners might just not be, might not be able to hone it to its greatest skills, but it is definitely, one of the monsters of the Land of Dawn right now.
Speaking of Land of Dawn, let's not waste any more time. If that first match was not entertaining, I don't know what game you're watching, because there was explosions going everywhere, fireworks in the sky for the Land of Dawn. But now on to game number 2, Area 77 up against Nighthorde. Match point, a possible chance for them to get the sweep and knock down Nighthorde and move up to the top 4 of North America. But Nighthorde, they put up a good fight. They were just not able to find the objectives. Where do they go to kind of turn this back around in their favor?
I mean, I don't know, man. I think they that last match, it's like they pulled out their trap card, they kind of used everything they had, I feel like. So it's tough from here, because honestly, that was one of the compositions where I felt like, all right, this is, this felt winnable. It felt very winnable for Nighthorde that game. It felt like they had the possibilities. So I think maybe don't completely switch it up. Maybe just, play it out a little bit better. Maybe ban out the R-Lot this time, go for something similar again. Again, I don't think it's completely out. I think they played very well with Zero in the jungle as an assassin. I think they could pull something out like the Noland and be able to protect Zero from getting attacked, able to defend those invades. I think they did that very well. I think it comes out to some other situations on the map that they have to deal with.
Yeah, it was funny. They pulled out that trap card. That blue eyes white dragon came out right there with Zero on that fanny. Just the distraction of pulling out that Barats and keep making them think that's going to be the jungler and then putting him in the XP lane was definitely high IQ. But nonetheless, it just didn't work out. I mean, I agree with you. I think Zero was great in the early game. He was trying to bridge that create that bridge for his team to kind of ride on to be able to take and stampede the early game, but even though he was getting his kills, his team was not able to kind of profit on the neutral objectives or even on the turrets where they could have been focused on. Now, in game number 2, like I said, I think the draft right alongside you was phenomenal for both sides. I think they both answered the way they were supposed to. I didn't really see too much of an issue, but I will say, in terms of the objective, Night Horde, they were looking similar to how they played up against Bloodhounds today for game number 1, right? They just weren't taking any objectives. Even though they're having good fights, they were just losing everything with little to no trade-offs. And for game number 2, I think maybe they just hone in on starting to focus on these turrets. Like, if you can't get the objectives, that's fine. Find the side lane and take down that turret so you can get the pick off to keep yourself in that game and not allow that snowball. But here we are, game number 2, a couple picks on the board. This is interesting. Getting to see a Paquito alongside the Ruby.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know where this Paquito is going to go, man. I think it's very possible we could see the Paquito maybe slotted into something like the jungle. Maybe slotted into the EXP lane. Same thing with the Ruby. Could be EXP lane, could be roam here. Area 77, though, they're showing all the cards up front. It's like, listen, we know JQT's got a mean Minotaur. We're going to lock that in immediately. Now they get the Lu Yi to add a little bit of spice to things. If they, I mean, that's... Area 77 likes to be aggressive. They like to play the macro game. When they're on fire, their macro game is also on fire. They are very clean with it. And I think they just have a well-rounded draft right now for whatever they want to bring to the table.
They have a lot of crowd control for Area 77, just their main focus right now, right? You have the Barats with the Deadness Welcome, the Minoan's Fury, the duality over there from the Lu Yi. And then looking at the side of Night Horde, I mean, they have engage and disengage, I guess. You have the Paquito who can kind of go in and initiate, kind of survive on these fights and get back out to safety with mobility, alongside the Ruby, who can kind of do the same thing with a little bit more crowd control. But it's going to be hard for Paquito to kind of rush into that composition full force, as he's going to get chained up with a lot of CC. Honestly, this would have been a type of composition where I would kind of prefer a Martis to be inside of the jungle, but when you stack up that Paquito alongside the Ruby, it gets a little risky because that's a lot of frontline heroes that you have to kind of worry about getting hit up with that crowd control. Now, Nana, so you already talked about it.
Comfort pick.
She mentioned in the interview with Zeke that she was one of the best Nana players, and not too many mages were able to pull that off. And today, we're going to get a little bit of that showcasing.
I mean, it's a comfort pick, man, and I think that's what Night Horde's kind of fallen back to here. Even with the Paquito as well, I think overall it's just like, all right, we don't got to get too crazy here, man, guys. You know, it's lower bracket. We've had a good run. We're on match point. Let's just play what we want to play here, man. And I don't think it's bad, and it still works. And I think one good thing the Nana supplies is a lot of help when it comes to these early objectives. She's great when it comes to first, second turtle, right? Because you have the Molina, Blitz, you have some heavy CC. You can try to kind of zone off and target down the enemy jungler. So I think Sayori on the stand is going to be a great support to whatever jungler Night Horde wants to pick.
Yeah, I think it's a good counter, especially up against that Barats. So we'll have to see how it kind of plays into it. Now, I mean, a lot of cards have been shown super early. I'm trying to picture this Minoan Fury going through. It's going to be a good tool for Area 77 to lean on, but the diversion over there from this Lu Yi is going to be something I'm really watching out for. You combo that up with the Minoan's Fury from that Minotaur, could be deadly if they catch you out of position anywhere on the map, so you're definitely going to be on your toes. Maybe playing a marksman with survivability should be the game plan, right? You can possibly lock in a Brody. Actually, I think would be okay here, just because you know they're going to go in for that invasion and you need to get back out to safety. A Claude, still available on the table, could be a viable option. It's good against the Barats. They are going to have to watch out for that Minotaur, but they're going to take the Claude away from them, as ISO's going to slot that in. On the opposing side, though, will be the Akai for the response.
Most definitely. I mean, again, I don't know whether Zero is going to be in the jungle here or Oh My Foe is going to be in the jungle here. Could go either way. Area 77 pick up the Claude here. What is Night Horde going to... I mean, I guess they have to go like Brody or something like that. Maybe Bruno if they really want to spice things up. But either way, Night Horde is aggressive here, man. They have a great mid-game spike. Great 7-minute spike. Whereas Area 77 just feels very well-rounded. Whether they have a lot of opportunity here on Area 77, man. Just kind of, I mean, just like when you think of what Solid is right now in the meta, and I look at Area 77, it's like you have the Barats, you have the Minotaur, you have this Lu Yi, you have the Lu Yi COD combo that we've been seeing all over the place. Just a lot of different ways to take this game. If they want to try to hit hard, early game, they have some possibilities there. They have some bullying possibilities. If they want to wait for late game macro possibilities, they also have that. Just a lot of different ways to attack the game from Area 77.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, this is a recipe that's proven to work. And if any team can pull it off, it's definitely going to be Area 77. And they're already at an advantage, forcing Nighthorde into match point. If they take this, they're going to be knocked out of the NACT spring season, and they're definitely showcasing their cards. But whoa!
Oh,
Wait a minute! Hanabi. Haven't seen one of these in a minute. This is definitely going to be something to watch out for, but is this the right move? This late in the game, possibly your final match in the NACT. Do you risk it all with the Hanabi pickup?
Is it the clutch pick, right? Is it the pick? We have seen the Hanabi come in, like Melon. Melon has been one of the players that it's like, whoa, made this Hanabi very something, but it's something that like the team has to be able to play around. I'm not counting it out. I'm not thinking that it's like a horrible pick. But the team has to be ready for it. And with Nighthorde already having some synergy issues, I feel like, bringing Zero in, I'm wondering, is this the pick? Is this the hill they want to die on? Again, it's match point. If there's a team that I trust is to get crazy, it's Nighthorde. They've had a really good season so far. So if you're a Nighthorde fan, you just got to put your faith in them here, right?
That's right. Put your faith in your favorite team as we are now moving into game number 2 of the lower bracket quarterfinals. Area 77 up against Nighthorde. Who will be able to push victorious? Is it going to be Area 77, currently sitting at match point, getting the clean sweep, or Nighthorde taking us to a game number 3?
We'll see exactly how it plays out. Area 77, like I said, I think has some great rotation possibilities here. Taking a look at the audience predictions, they also have them in their favor. Nighthorde, what are some win cons here, man? I think they have a great late game. They also have a great mid-game spike. They need to know when their moments are that they can force fights. I think second turtle, even maybe first turtle, they have some big advantages here. But JQT trying to put a stop to that.
Yeah, Sayori does have that passive that you are going to have to watch out for. But yeah, I mean, winning conditions, trust in Hanabi. I mean, I figure that's really what it's going to boil down to for the late game. Hanabi, one of those less mobile marksmen, easy to pick off and catch out of position. Does go in for that Aegis on top of it, though, which is going to limit even more of the mobility, and also no Purify in case she gets hit with that CC.
Most definitely. Now taking a look at some of these emblems. Again, nothing too crazy out of the field. Hanabi just really kind of heavy into damage, getting the quantum charge to kind of pair up with the first skill and everything like that. So again, nothing too out of the realm except for some of the picks on the side of Nighthorde, but still, if the game is sitting at 0 kills, if the game is sitting at only a 5 to 1,000 gold deficit, it is in favor of Nighthorde. Yes, we're just starting, and Nighthorde's goal is a long way away. We're talking 12, 15 minutes or so. 3 or 4 items for R. Same thing with a couple items for a Sayori to really pack a punch. The possibilities are there. Can Area 77 cut the clock, though?
Right, and we've seen Area 77 in game number 1 take all the neutral objectives and didn't really lose anything in that engagement. But speaking of engagement, Jureshi is going to find Oh My Foe, Area 77, able to get first blood. And it looks like they are going to lose that turtle to the Nighthorde.
Yeah, so Nighthorde loses a member, they lose Oh My Foe, they get a turtle, slightly different than what we saw in the past, but again, right now for them, it's just kind of a take things slow. Momoy in a little bit of trouble here, but Sayori able to help out and defend.
Yeah, able to help out and defend, but nonetheless, a close call. You're going to see the Hunter Strike picked up over there by Zero on this Akai, ready to take these engagements, get a little bit of that momentum and movement speed boost for these fights. Now, I'm ready to see kind of how this Lu Yi plays into this composition. I mean, when you have the Lu Yi, when you have the Minotaur, I'm expecting some diversion plays, especially over to a Hanabi in a gold lane, something that R is going to have to look out for. Oh, a little misplay though on the I'm offended. Momoe not able to connect.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. It's, every play, every mess up matters when you're this far into NACT. Every little whiff can make a difference. And when you're on match point, lower bracket, playoffs, you can't make mistakes like that. You got to be able to land every ult. You got to be able to land every skill. You got to make sure every basic attack counts.
Yeah, speaking of attacks, Black Dragon forced out by Yoreshi on the 2v1 matchup. Able to get out of there. I'm kind of surprised there's not really too much focus from the roamer, from Momoe, to protect the Hanabi, right? They're just going to kind of trust her in that lane, even up against a Claude who has the mobility to be able to take him down. But a little bit of camera shift on the engagement for the bot side. Final slash going down. Minoan's Fury for the knock-up. Tarzan in the front line of the damage. You're going to see Omafo going with the heavy left punch, take down JQT, but the stun from Tarzan to respond back. Finds Omafo. Tarzan trying to get out of there. Hit with the heavy spin on the wall. Zero trying to go in for the kill. So Yori will be able to take it 2 for 2 on the scoreboard.
All right, we're going blow for blow, baby. 2 for 2. Gold for gold. Jungler for jungler. I mean, it's all over the place right now, but no, actually, Zero has not taken a death, so he's going to hold a slight advantage, and this is going to be another neutral objective, most likely into the hands of Nighthorde here. R versus ISO, 1v1. The shield comes in. ISO's got to run away.
The Aegis comes into play there, but I'm only worried about it when it comes to the dive potential that Area 77 has against him. I'm offended, though, for the stun on a Marcuti. Big play. Momoe able to get the kill. The assistance from Sayori with the Molina Blitz, though, to be able to deal the damage. Big play so far for the Nighthorde. Hunter Strike being picked up by Omafo. In the midst of all this chaos, 3-2. You are looking at the Nighthorde leading up by 1,000 gold and also 2 turtles. Area 77, game number 1, they were able to take majority of the neutral objectives. This time, though, the objectives, the turtles, are in the hands of the Nighthorde. Speaking of hands, though, Yoreshi with the Black Dragon, not going to be able to engage, but push back the side of Nighthorde. Top side, ISO will shut down R. Ooh, you are going to see Tarzan rush in, though. Is going to get the stun. Heavy spin on the wall. Omafo will find Tarzan. 4-3, a little bit of miscalculated play. Jungler will fall. Tarzan finding his 2nd death of the game. You are looking at some of the items pop up on the board as well. Is going to be that corrosion sight picked up over there by ISO, working on these core items. On the other side, Hanabi matching him with the corrosion sight, but falling a little bit behind in the economy. The Hanabi is going to be a stable pickup. The later this game goes, the harder it will be to take down that Hanabi, especially when he has the Higabana to be able to slow down the entire team. He's going to be forced to kind of try and group together. You are going to look at a lot of crowd control potential, though, for Area 77 to kind of lean on when it comes to these 5v5 engagements.
Most definitely. I mean, Nighthorde with a lead, able to kind of control, and I think a lot of it's going to have to do to spacing. And we talked about earlier in the very beginning that even if they're not too far behind, they're kind of winning, but now that they're actually winning, they're winning even more because they have this late game composition that's going to just get stronger and stronger and stronger. And though Area 77 has some macro possibilities, has some big combo possibilities, Nighthorde has the opportunity to upset that.
You are going to see the blade armor picked up by Zero as well, kind of deflect or reflect some of that damage, but you are going to see JQT rest him, and Nolan Fury flicker play for the double knockup. Yoreshi, he wants to get the assist. He wants to go in possibly for the kill. Does not connect with the Furious Dive or the Soul Grip, though. But you are going to see Area 77 maintaining their composure. Has a possible play to take this turtle. This will be their first one of the game if they can pull it off. The first 2 have gone to the Nighthorde. Yoreshi, though, dealing some damage. Tarzan will claim the turtle for Area 77. But now bodies may drop. Momoe very low. Tarzan on the chase. Nobody there to follow through, though. JQT trying to test the waters, deciding if he wants to engage. Tarzan, though, not afraid to take the fight behind enemy lines.
Are just farming, though. Nice, I'm offended on Tarzan there. Area 77, they went out on objective, but still not too far ahead. Tower is still standing at a standstill. Still anybody's game. What we need to see from Area 77, I feel like, is we got to see that the ultimate from Marcuti pop off a bit more. I feel like you have this Claude, you have this Minoan's Fury, you have a lot of possibilities, and they need to kind of use this element of surprise to move around the map, take towers, and consistently apply pressure to Nighthorde and have them second guessing themselves.
Yeah, and right now, 3-4 so far. Able to get not only a turtle, but also a turret. You're looking at both sides claiming one turret so far, but the play on the bot side are forced to kind of disengage into the tier 2 turret. You are looking at Momoe trying to join the party, though, trying to help kind of sustain himself on the bot side, especially running on this this Hanabi, not your typical marksman that you traditionally see, but can definitely work out if they can get to that late game and hit those power spikes with their core items. But Area 77 giving them a little bit of a hard time as ISO will be able to claim the turn on the bot lane.
But Nighthorde doesn't like force it. It's like, okay, you can have that tower, right? Because I think they know. One thing we pointed out when they, in their last series up against Bloodhounds is, they knew what their win cons were. They knew, all right, this is what we have to get to. This is where we need to get to. This is how we have to get there. And they know it's okay, Area 77, you have the advantage right now. We're going to give you this tower. We're not going to try to, give up our lives to defend it. We're not going to give up a huge gold lead just to try to defend something. And now, looking for a play.
Yeah, both sides taking the fight into the mid lane. Zero forced to use the heavy spin, trying to get back to safety. Pulled back, though. Yureshi will be able to take him down. BMI goes out, blatant duet from ISO. Big knock from No Fury. Tarzan finds one. JQT finds the other. R will fall alongside my foe. Yureshi finds Momoe for the double kill. All members standing for Area 77 and the full dive. So Yori will find Yureshi the last second, able to escape with the 1 HP play, but Area 77 pushing through the mid lane.
And that could be game-changing there. One of the big heartbreaking things about that fight there is my foe dives in, looks for the connection onto ISO there, and just misses. One more hit, one more punch, takes out ISO, and it could have been completely the swap around for that fight there, or at least the balance out. But Area 77 comes out on top of it. The big Minoan's Fury connects on multiple members. And watch for My Foe here, right? He tries to get into the backside. Once he knows he goes down, My Foe flickers in. One more punch, man. Just misses and gets taken out. And from there, Area 77 snowballs forward. Now look at him. They're turning it into even more. It's becoming a problem. Area 77 now, they are at almost a 4,000 goal lead. And this is a point where Nighthorde, the late game comp, is looking a little scary.
Yeah, they got to trust in Hanabi, though. They still got that Hanabi revving up, waiting for the opportunity.
Revving up,
Hanabi
man.
Can start the shine. But you are going to see, like you said, Area 77 slowly increasing this lead even more, and maybe a problem for Nighthorde to try and deal with. You're going to see the Wind of Nature picked up by ISO, ready to take this fight and negate that physical damage. 6 turrets claimed, only losing 1. Area 77 full ground control at the 11-minute mark, ready to possibly crack open the base, forcing Nighthorde down to their inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem. Lord going to be up in about 100 seconds, a minute and a half or so. But look at Yureshi into the backside.
Yeah, Black Dragon hovering around. Duality going out as well. Over there from Marcuti. Momori very low. Hit with the stun. Tarzan trying to expand that distance, trying to get any hits he can, but not able to open up the base for the Nighthorde so far.
Nighthorde just got to defend, man, and they have the kits to do that. They have the heavy spin, they have the Ruby, the Amafenda, and then they have the Shred from R, and they have burst. I mean, they have all these answers to be able to defend. Very similar to last game when they had R on the Claude, and they just. We know Nighthorde can do it. It's just how long can they do it? And I think they need at least another 5 minutes or so until they're really able to put up a fight. They need to try to... Oh, Sayori. That's a lot of damage from ISO.
But if I'm offended by Momoe, using the BMI last second to get out to safety. Arrest with the Black Dragon hovering around, trying to find a member to drop on. JQT very low, but Minoan Fury goes out for the knockup. Flicker back to safety. Big play for the setup, and it looks like Area 77 will disengage.
Man, Area 77, they're pushing, man. They're testing the Nighthorde, and the Nighthorde is passing, I have to admit, man. It's like Area 77's diving in. They're looking to force baits. They want Nighthorde to come out and take a fight. But Nighthorde is not following for it, man. And the plays from JQT there, like just knowing, being able to dive under towers, knowing how long you were going to be able to last, flicker out just in the nick of time. Very clean from Area 77 as well.
Yeah, both sides have the late game marksmen, right? You have the Claude, you have the Hanabi, both of them able to kind of push out that damage that later this game goes. I mean, look at the items. I mean, look at the goal difference. ISO up by 2K above R right now. He does have that Legion Sword he's working on top of that. He does have the Wind of Nature to be able to negate the damage when it comes to these fights, which is something that the Nighthorde does have to kind of watch out for. Blade of Heptases picked up by My Foe, ready to kind of engage and try and get some instant damage.
And Nighthorde just needs like the big steal here, right? I think one big play by Nighthorde and the game could quickly turn around. Area 77 on the other hand, all they have to do is just keep it steady, man. Just keep it steady, keep doing what we're doing, and the game is ours. It's a match point. We're one game away from moving forward to top 5, top 4. You know, it's not difficult for them, right? They already have such a lead. They just have to keep it simple, do exactly what they've been doing. Nighthorde's the one who has to pull the rabbit out of the hat here.
Yeah, and the question is, do they have that rabbit in that hat, or is there nothing in there at all? Time will tell as both sides fighting over this Lord, but you are looking at Area 77 having the advantage. Black Dragon a little early from your Reshi, trying to kind of test the waters for the Nighthorde hovering around. Tarzan will be able to get this Lord uncontested. A smart play for Area 77, forcing the Nighthorde to kind of rethink their decision. Now they're going to have to kind of contest. Oh, diversion does go out. Looks like they aren't able to find a member, but Oh My Foe is there. JQT 2v1. Oh! Get it! Look at that damage! That was the Blade of Hep disease that we were just talking about that he picked up, but he is able to dash back out to safety.
Hit him with that clap, boy. Hit him with that clap. The Nighthorde clap. We've seen it before. All right, so able to defend. All members, full health bars. Area 77, all members, full health bar. One Lord coming down. I got a feeling Nighthorde they can defend this, man. It's definitely defendable here.
I just seen R laying down. His team has their back against the wall, and he's just as relaxed as ever. The man is just laying down on the couch.
Hey, man, play from comfort.
That's a true comfort player right there, but you are going to see the Lord make his way into the base, bursted down. Yoreshi with the Black Dragon hovering around is going to drop down onto R. Furious Dive and Soul Grip will be able to find the marksman, takes down the back line for the Nighthorde. Possible push, a possible game ender. Will they send them home? Area 77, the extraterrestrials, the aliens, taking the fight into the base for the Nighthorde. They do have minions slowly making their way through the mid lane. Is this their final stand?
I mean, with R down, this is their time to do it, right? With the Shredder down, Area 77 could end here.
Yeah, possibly a game ender. You are going to go ahead and see JQT rush in for the initiation.
Oh!
Wow, Minoan's Fury quad knockup. Here we go. They're going in for the kill, for the finish. Area 77 pushing through the minions. Oh My Foe, Zero, Momoe in position. Full 5-man team of the Nighthorde to defend. Area 77 not able to find the window of opportunity, but they are not done yet. Yoreshi with the Black Dragon hovering around. JQT being bursted down, but back with the immortality. Able to get out to safety, but very low. This is a very close fight, but so far the Nighthorde still able to stand their ground, but Mark Cutie taking down the mid lane mage. Sayori will fall. They're not done. Immortality being picked up by Momoe. You're going to see Prolific Roar picked up by Oh My Foe as well.
Now R back on the map though. Momoe looking for something there as well. Nice, I'm offended on Tarzan.
Ooh, gonna get the CC. Looking for the opportunity for the kill, but the response back to petrify. Tarzan finding R yet again. Falling his 4th death of the game. Momoe immortality being proc. The chase is on. Zero with the headbutt going in. Yoreshi in position. Zero forced back to the base. Oh My Foe very low. Minions being cleared. Base crystal 25%. Too much crowd control to handle in Area 77. The aliens send Nighthorde home.
That is it. The story's told. Area 77 comes in with another clean sweep, taking out the Nighthorde, sending them home. It was a nice run, but in the end, A77 shows who the big dogs are, why we've been here, why our name has been known in NA for so long, and they're coming back for more this season.
Yeah, definitely showcasing that they have what it takes, now making it into that top 4 position. A very great series overall, able to focus on these objectives. Lost little to nothing when it came to the turrets against the Nighthorde. The Nighthorde was on a good run though. I mean, they were able to get that victory over the Bloodhounds, but running it back to back, it was just too much for them to be able to sustain. Great game so far. Nighthorde, an excellent run. Definitely look forward to seeing them in future NACTs, as they had a really good showcasing, not only in the regular season, but just overall for this NACT. Even when they lost, they still found some victories within the matches that look promising for future games.
I mean, well played by Area 77, man. And I think overall, Area 77, this is what I kind of said about them all season round, is when they're at their peak, they play very, very well from not just a micro standpoint, but a macro standpoint. You know, they execute their win cons, to perfection sometimes. It's just that when they play off, they play very, very off. So I think if they can keep up this momentum, if they can do what they just did to Night Horde down the line, get these kinds of drafts in, get this kind of gameplay in, we could see some big things from them.
That's 3 teams knocked out so far in today's series. Man, it's definitely been an amazing showcasing. 16-minute, 49-second match. The Hanabi R was wondering how it would kind of play out, just not able to find that opportunity he was looking for. Definitely an interesting pickup. You are going to go ahead and see a couple of the stats on the board, though. Rich Guy going over to ISO with the most gold per minute, most damage, 89k for Mark Cutie, 0. On the opposite team, though, will be the Sandbag. We saw him got to flex over from the XP into the jungle. And then the forgotten one, Mr. Mark Cutie himself, with 7 assists.
Definitely, and something to point out, once again, Night Horde only able to take 1 tower in that game. Once Area 77 found their groove that game, it was over. And look at the KDA head-to-head, 4-1-1, 0-1-4. 0. I think it was a well try. You come into the playoffs to a team that you haven't been playing with it all season. They try the swap-a-rooney, they put you in the jungle even, but still Night Horde unable to pull it off. It feels like that last game, they went for a little bit of comfort. Oh, my phone, the Paquito did a great job. R even did a decent job on the Hanabi, but it just wasn't enough tonight. Area 77 shows up and shows out.
Yeah, and that's going to push them even forward into the lower bracket semifinals. And, we're going to have to wonder who their competitor will be. We're not even done today. That's our 3rd series. We still have a whole nother series to kind of jump through, but these matches have been getting even more and more intense, and that's what happens when you get to the knockout phase, right? And it's make it or break it, and only the strongest will survive. Speaking of strongest, though, most damage over there on the side of the Night Horde, interesting enough, or damage taken is going to be 0 on the Sakai, right behind him, Momoe. On the opposing side, though, Tarzan Cutie sustaining himself through a lot of that damage on this Barrage. Right behind him, though, Yoreshi, who had a lot of good plays over there with that Yuzong and the initiations.
Most definitely. Very well played. Area 77 now going to move forward. Going to go up against the winner of our last match today. And next match, it's going to be DA up against Fiends. Going to be another great one. Area 77, I think if they can play how they just played now, definitely some possibilities. It's kind of upsetting that they, got swept earlier on. We expected such great things from them. I don't think a lot of us thought they were going to be able to beat GG, but we still thought they would at least put something up. And then you see them play now, and it's just like, what is missing when they're going up against some of those top teams now? Zeke, what'd you think?
I'm sad. I feel like it's cursed. It's a plague. It's all rigged.
Your fault.
All jokes aside, Area 77 looks really strong. They came in and they didn't waste any time. I felt like I felt so confident in Night Horde's ability to really take the fight to them. But then I felt like in the draft picks, there was definitely a couple things in both of their drafts that I was just kind of like, oh, are you sure? And they weren't. It turns out they weren't sure. So that was cool. Steph, what about you? Was there anything that stuck out for you?
I would have loved to see your face when they drafted the Hanabi. What was going through your head when you saw that?
There might have been a tear. There might have been 2 tears, but for me, man, I could understand the value and why they went in the direction of the Hanabi, but it definitely, I didn't feel like they had enough CC. I didn't feel like they had enough frontlining, like effective frontlining. Like the Paquito's got cool damage and he's got a CC option, but does he have the ability to sustain the damage and keep in the fight? No, he doesn't. He's very much an in and then out character. So with that being said, I didn't feel like there was enough utility to really maximize the effects of the Hanabi.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent read. I mean, I was surprised about it. And I always ask that question when your back's against the wall and you pick something like that, it's a little questionable. It's high risk, high reward, but honestly, I feel like there's more risk than the reward in those type of situations.
Most definitely.
Drex?
I mean, it's match point, right? And I think Nighthorde played the best to their abilities tonight, man. You know, they pulled every rabbit they had until eventually they were out. And the thing to really point out from Area 77 there is that they beat them even with the surprise game 1 pick of the Fanny, you know, and it's not like they had a composition that was great going against the Fanny. They were able to pull through and win that game even after taking several deaths in the early phase. So we saw a lot of different faces from Area 77. Then we came into game 2 where they were able to just kind of keep it simple, just give a very normal meta draft and just steamroll through. And, you know, these are the things you want to see from teams that are, you know, you want to be at the top level. And Area 77 showed that they're able to pull through in the lower bracket tonight, and we're hoping big things from them, you know, as this playoffs keeps moving forward.
Absolutely. And with that being said, you know, no hate against Nighthorde from me. You know, you guys, you hurt my heart just a little bit, but at the end of the day, I am very proud of how you guys performed. There's no shame in anything. You guys came in this NACT, you look strong, and at the end of the day, you guys put on some great shows, and I'm thankful for that. So, Steph, I have given you a couple times to guess the MVP. So this time, I want to hear what Trex has got to think. We're about to find out. What's your guess?
Maybe Yureshi. Yureshi played an amazing game number 1. Day also did pretty good, but it's going to be Yureshi. Yeah, I think Yureshi, I think game number 1 is really what kind of sent him online, was just a dominant force to be reckoned with here, Wheezy.
Yeah, Yureshi, definitely a valuable player and an asset to the team. I mean, he's been around the scene for a while, and it definitely shows with his selection of heroes and also what he provides to the team. You got to see him kind of rotate around, able to open up the opportunity for the teams where it mattered, and that's what allowed them to kind of have an easier time on those games. A lot of times we'd see Yureshi just hovering around with the Black Dragon. Even if he didn't get a kill, he's just giving the vision. He's letting them know, hey, don't cross this line, or he's going to drop down with the Furious Dive, allowing them to take things like the turtles, objectives like the Lord, and overall able to claim that victory. So looking forward to see what he has to do up in the upcoming matches in the lower bracket. But man, 3 teams sent home already, guys.